Today we're just going to have a conversation. We're going to talk about Adam's career in technology and talk about some of the things that he does for Comcast, NBC, Universal. Adam, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell them how long. Hold on for a second. Hey, excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Why don't you tell me about what you're doing for the company? How long have you been with the company, and how did you break into technology?
Thank you, Leron. I've been with Comcast going on 16 years now. I started in 2008, right when the housing market crashed. So I know it's probably way back when for some of you younger folks. But yeah, I only got in out of necessity, really. Didn't think I would be in technology very long. I was, working construction, things of that nature. Got a position here and started on installs. The guys you guys see in there, installing internet, TV, phone, things of that nature. And then progress my way up into network, which I am currently a network supervisor that oversees all the infrastructure. So when you guys saw Hurricane Burrow come out, it was my teams with work with Leron's team rebuilding all of Houston when it all went down. So that's what a lot of what we do is all the transport, the distribution of Comcast from the head end out to your homes.
And he's being modest. What happens is when something happens, we call it break fix. So if something happens at one of the hospitals, if something happens at some of our critical infrastructure businesses that will really hurt the community if they're down, his team actually rolls out and fixes that so that we can make sure that the community is safe and that we're on point with it. They also create what's called redundancy, making sure that there's a backup for the backup if something ever happens. So with that being said, you also do a lot of work inside of the community. I see you brought the Wi-Fi van out here today. Could you talk about some of the community impact and some of the things that you've seen?
Oh yeah, with the project up that we have going and also the lift stations we put up, during Hurricane Burrow, we had the Wi-Fi van going out to the hotspots so we could get services up, because what most people don't know is a lot of our infrastructure feeds a lot of the cell towers. So when our structure goes down, cellular service is needed. So we come out and provide that service to everyone. So that was a big portion during Hurricane Burrow, was to get those services out to people and get them back up and running as soon as possible.
Yeah, a lot of people really don't understand how our services work, because we traditionally follow power. So as power comes into your neighborhoods, if you ever look up and you see the power lines, et cetera, if you look next to it or right below it, you'll see the cable lines as well. So we follow power. So when power's down, that's typically why your internet is down, and that's why your cable isn't working now. So when we follow that and come into these areas, we have to make sure that it's safe. Once power is up, we're fast forward right behind them, so that way you can have your services and you can get back up and get to doing what you need to do. When you think about some of the stuff that we do in the communities like Rise and Lift Zones, what does that bring to mind? Could you explain what that is?
Oh, well, just the Project Rise. I work out of Wallaceville, so 5th Ward, 3rd Ward, Jacinto City, Galena Park. All the under poverty areas, we have lift zones in those areas to allow kids and elderly even to come and get those services, because what a lot of people don't realize is digital equity. That also involves being able to get your prescriptions online, things of that nature. A lot of the stuff we've done nowadays is all in the digital footprint, and a lot of people above the age of 60 don't really know that digital age. So when we have these zones and we can teach people how to use the internet, how to use it properly, and how to do it safely, this really helps them stay ahead of the game when it comes to being ahead of their medications or trainings or learning.
And that's awesome. Well, that talks about some of the things that we do in the community. But let's go back to technology real quick. What are some of the things that you love about technology, and why is that?
It's ever evolving. What you learn today is past use tomorrow, pretty much. It is the future. Technology, since I started, 16 meg was the fastest speed we had when it came to internet service. Now we're doing 2 gig bidirectional in some areas, 10 gig in business is bidirectional. So the technology is really advanced. Currently, Comcast has had the FDX project, which is transforming the way that the digital signal comes from the nodes, and we are pioneers in that area. This is technology that we've developed, that we put out in our systems, not including the rural broadband that we're doing right now with remote EPON, taking fiber directly to the homes, helping those communities that are outside of a metro system be able to get the same services as those that you would get in a metro complex.
So when you think about technology, like a lot of the people that are in this room right now have never been without it. But you people that are my age and your age, obviously we're grandfathered into having newer things and we see it as newer things. What's the most exciting thing in technology for you right now when it comes to the services that are out there that you work on?
The most exciting thing is how everything works together. You're fully connected. You think about it now, to your point, when we're coming together, my watch ties to my phone, ties to my iPad, ties to everything. So the way I'm able to communicate is real time. I'm able to constantly be engaged with what's going on. So for me, that's what I love, is I can communicate with someone from Colorado real time, within seconds. We didn't have that growing up. We had to send them a letter, maybe a pen pal. My mentors are out of Colorado, so I have mentorships, as the ladies of network and tech were talking about. When you make mentorships, we're able to do those things now because I have so much different connections. I can actually go throughout the world, and with Comcast, we have such a broad spectrum of people that we can talk to. It is amazing the kind of connections you can make, and that's what really excites me about technology today.
Now, one thing you did mention is that you broke into tech later on in your career because you were doing other things. When you broke into tech, for advice for people, these are young technologists that we have here in the audience. So, and some of them are going to go into different fields in technology. What would be some advice for them? Because it's like you said, you came in at an older age and you already advanced into a supervisor role, into a leadership role at a Fortune 30 company, let alone starting off at the age that they are right now. So what would your advice be for them?
My advice for them is continue building, as the ladies of tech talked about, is your network, but also building your brand. Be reliable, be dependable. That's really what a lot of technology is even when you speak to the Comcast logo, is our reliability, our pace of which we do things. So for those that are wanting to come in, I have a high school education, so it's not like you have to have advanced technologies. This company has given me the tools, resources, and technology to grow and make a life and a career out of what was seemingly just a job position that I took in 2008. So for